All right. All right, we good to go, everybody? Shirley, John, Mark, thank y'all. And joining me in the Pirate Radio studios, East Carolina pitcher Danny Beal and Pirate catcher Ryan McCrystal, coming off a series victory over South Florida. And guys, thank y'all for being here this Monday morning after a long and late Sunday. But how are we doing today, gentlemen?
Really good. Really good. Obviously, yesterday was long, but get our feet under us today and get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah. Ryan?
Doing well. Happy to be here as always.
Good game one yesterday. Game two of the series for both of you guys. Rhino going deep and Danny going deep into the game. And Danny, we'll start with you. Got off to a rough start
as usual.
A couple of the two. You get up 2 strikes. Are you getting too cute at that point? Or are you just missing spots? Like what transpires in a bats like that?
I honestly felt real like initially I was like, all right, I've got my stuff today, because normally when you throw, your first 3 pitches or 2 strikes and you're ahead of a guy, it's like, all right, let me just put him away real quick. And I think I just caught a little bit outside of myself, and then obviously the rest of the inning transpires, and I didn't really win the momentum in terms of we back pick a guy at third base, and then the next pitch the dude hits it out. So that wasn't ideal, but I think I settled in after that and gave us a chance to win, and that was the goal from the jump, was Norby's gonna give us a shot, and then whoever comes in after that, just pass the baton. So.
Yeah, and you mentioned throwing over to third. There was a caught stealing where a guy comes off the bag. So there was some, I don't know if they're little plays, but kind of hidden outs almost that the defense helped you out. JC got one at the wall.
That was insane.
Defense and sometimes maybe a Bulls blunder on the base paths helped you guys out as well.
Yeah, I think that was the most reviews I've ever had while I've been pitching. It felt like every inning there was like a review, and it was just painful. But this JC's catch was the second inning, and I think if that goes out, not only is my outing different, but I think the game from there is completely different. So obviously that play was huge, and I come back in the dugout, and Ryan's like, "You need to give JC a big hug." But I mean, JC's play, the back pick, Shaq keeping the tag on him without even looking, because it was first and third, and he had to tag him while still looking at the guy at third to make sure he didn't break for home. So that was really savvy by him, and the back pick was executed, and after that it was just executing pitches, and I thought we did a good job of that.
My dad noticed. I was at my parents' house watching it. My dad noticed something, and I'll ask Ryan. Does Danny have any friends on the team?
Yeah,
okay, cool. Because when you guys hit home runs, Danny is a lone man. I guess when you're pitching, Danny.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you're at the end of the dugout. Everybody's celebrating, and we felt kind of bad for you, DB.
It's funny. Like when I was younger, Matt Bridges and Cam Coleman always told me, because I was a freshman, didn't really know how to handle that kind of stuff, because I was always a position player in high school, so it wasn't really like a be on your own kind of thing as a pitcher. But they always told me, like, hey, stay at the end, like you can celebrate when we win, stay locked in, keep a good mindset. So it's just funny, like seeing everybody like do some home run celebration, like seeing them go boom, and I'm just sitting there like, all right, good job, and then just go back to the end of the dugout. But it's kind of funny.
Yeah, noticed that. Ryan, you were one of the Pirates that went yard in game one on Sunday, and a lot of balls flying out to right, and you got a hold of one yourself, and good outing for the offense. But how about your home run? What did you see there?
Yeah, I don't know. That was good. I had been in a little spell where I was hitting the ball really hard, and they were all being caught. It was obviously it's the way the game goes, but that was one of those at bats that just remind you that you're doing all the right things. I guess it was 2-1, and he had just flipped me a 2-0 curveball, and if you watch the video, I kind of smile after he does that, because all weekend, I don't know if they realized it, but every time they threw me a breaking ball for a strike, they would throw me a fastball right after. And so I had kind of been gradually picking up on that throughout the weekend, and it's just been more consistent lately, and sold out to a heater, and he threw me a fastball in, and I was able to get my hands in enough and hit a line drive out to right. So it was definitely good to tie the game there, and then Beal being able to put up a 0 the next half was awesome, and kind of took the game from there, because I think we knew that they needed to get ahead by a little bit more in order to feel confident about themselves. And there's a picture of me celebrating the home run, like in between second and third, and the second baseman just kind of sitting there with his head down, and it's like the perfect explanation of the way this offense and team's kind of been this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Ryan McCrystal and Danny Beal here inside the Pirate Radio Studios, East Carolina, taking 2 of 3 from South Florida, and did not play on Saturday. Did you guys ever get an explanation on what happened to the Bulls players?
Ate some bad food. I don't really know. We apparently, I woke up Saturday and had no idea of the situation. Like, there were a couple guys that had a clue, but I had no idea. And then I got to the field and found a little bit more about it. And then we had a meeting in the team room basically saying, like, they're all sick. They had, like, 5 position players available or something like that. Like, they couldn't play. And then he said that their coach was super kind and, like, understanding about it, but the league office said that we couldn't. So we were going to practice that day and then just play 2 on Sunday, a 9 and a 7, and just adversity. Good, just deal with it.
So as far as you know, South Florida would have tried to play, or?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, from what Coach G has told us, it's been like Billy Mull, who's their head coach, who's apparently really cool, was like, dude, I'll do whatever. I know how much these games mean to you guys, so it's up to you. But the league office guy was like, no, let's play 2 on Sunday. So I don't really know. I don't really know too
out of
much
your hands.
Yeah, Coach G could probably fill you in more about it. But
I'm sure he'd love to talk about that. In fact, he did after the game last night. Ryan McCrystal, Danny Beal joining us. So when you get a Saturday off, it's because it's wet, it's rainy, it's ugly. Yeah. That was not the case this Saturday. So what'd you guys do all day?
I played on the show because I was told not to play golf.
Oh, okay.
Word for word.
And MLB The Show helps your swing.
Exactly. It worked yesterday.
Yeah.
The rules were no golf and no pool. So I went home and sat and watched baseball all day. Watched Kentucky because Ryder was in Lexington. He was texting me throughout the Arkansas and Kentucky game. Just hung out, watched the Bruins.
Jacob Jenkins Coward is in denial. He keeps saying no rules. It sounds like you guys still have rules.
It's relative.
It's all relative.
It's not even rules anymore. We have a standard and a schedule. There are no rules.
There you go.
At all.
No rules. Duke coming to town on Tuesday to take on these Pirates, and you guys have played well against in-state opponents this year. Have played awesome during the midweek, looking to keep that going, and going to be another great crowd on Tuesday. You've been a part of those your entire careers, but also this year, and I don't know. You kind of feel that with the fan base right now. They are really locked in with this ECU baseball team.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like every year they're just the best fans in the country, but I feel like this year I think everyone kind of senses that what we feel, and it's that this team's different, and that whether we get to our ultimate goal or not, this team has a greater purpose, and I think everyone's kind of buying into that, and I think that's why the environments have been so special, and there's just been like a different roar when something big happens, and like just getting the opportunity to play a top 10 matchup on Tuesday is a blessing, and I know the fans are going to show out and make it the best environment that I've probably ever seen.
Is there any kind of sigh of relief you don't have 2 midweek games this week? Or, I mean, you guys love playing baseball, I'm sure, but also, Danny, with as much as you threw yesterday, one less game isn't the worst thing in the world. So any thoughts on VCU being canceled?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really think too much into it. I just kind of take it game, but I know it's cliche, but like literally at this point in the season, you have to take it game by game because of how much every single game matters. Not only on the pitching side, but I think the entire team is embodying just, it does not matter who we play, what the crowd is, whether there's 6,000 or 100 people there, just go out like we would as if it was any other game and just take care of business. And obviously the goal is to win the game tomorrow, but we're going to embrace the challenge and have, obviously, like you said, an incredible crowd on a Tuesday. And Coach G says all the time, like, there's not many places in the country that's going to have 6,000 with a 9 versus 6 matchup, but Greenville will. So it's going to be very cool tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, going to be fun. And then on the road at Tulane this weekend, your best hypothesis, Ryan? I think we see Wyatt Lunsford Shankman or Zach Root pitch this week for East Carolina.
It's not my area of expertise.
Good answer.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't say.
But Danny will tell us. Danny
will say anything.
I have no idea.
Say what you think.
No idea.
Say it now.
I have no clue.
No rules. You can say it.
That is true. There are no rules. I don't know. It just depends on how they feel. I don't know.
Stop talking.
I really don't know.
Yeah. I do think it's impressive the way this team has played without two of our best arms. Like, I think our offense has stepped up, and I think that there's been some arms that have stepped up in a really big way. So I think that also goes to show how good this team really is when 2 of your best arms are out and you're really playing your best baseball, and getting those guys back is just going to make you step it up another level.
Y'all keeping Jake's head up? How's Hunter doing with the injury?
He's hanging in there. Obviously, he's super upset about the whole thing, and we're trying to keep him in a good mindset. But he's going to get surgery. It's not scheduled yet, but he's going soon. But he's obviously upset that he couldn't finish the season out with us, but he's going to be with us throughout the rest of the year and hopefully come with us to Clearwater, and when we're hosting regional, super regional, come with us too. So it'll be very good. So,
Ryan, you've had some injuries here and there in your career. What's it? How can you still be a part of the team when you're not out there on the field? What did you do when you were in that situation?
For me, on the hitter side, they kind of stayed towards the end of the dugout. Kept like a pitcher tendency chart to where you could try and pick up on what the guy's doing throughout the game. And then I would just kind of try and stay locked in with the hitters and see what their approaches were, that kind of thing. And from the pitching side of things, like I know Jake's working the walkie in the bullpen a decent amount. He's going to take pride in that, he said, especially in Clearwater where it's nice and warm. And then, there's a bunch of different ways, whether you're a leader or not. I think there's ways to take advantage of a situation that you're not too happy with. So I know Jake's going to do a great job with that. And as much as it sucks, I think he's definitely got a chance to be better from it.
Danny, I know no matter who you play, the crowd, you said all that, but man, this weekend, how much do you want to beat Corey Glore?
And Connor Rasmussen, both of them.
Yeah, a couple of.
Put them under the dirt.
That'll be fun. What's it like facing off against a former teammate? We saw it, of course, in AMAC with NC State, but Connor, at least earlier in the year, was having a good year. I haven't really followed him since then.
We actually keep in touch quite a bit. We FaceTime probably 6 or 7 times throughout the year, just checking in on each other's season.
I was going to freak out.
No. But no, he's good. Like, he's obviously was super close with us last year, and we try to keep in touch. But he's starting for them, playing pretty well. Tulane's got a great stadium. I know the last time we went didn't really go very well, but Spivey saved us, and we were able to scratch one out of those 3. But no, it'll be fun. It's always nice to see Corey. Corey's always been super gracious and awesome to me, and it's always a pleasure to see him. And I haven't seen Russ since he left, so it's gonna be a fun series, catch up with everyone, but still business as usual. Got to win those games. So
business trip.
Yeah, that's right.
DB Ryan McCrystal here in the Pirate Radio studios. We'll get a pro sports update. Bruins move on, beat the Maple Leafs.
Oh my gosh!
Tried to blow it.
So my roommate Chris is a Panthers fan. So the entire time he's just sitting next to me, just like giggling. He knows what's about to happen because they showed the stats. Every single game, including overtimes, were the exact same as the year prior. So the Bruins blew a 3-1 lead to the Panthers last year. And every single game in order was the exact same results as it was this year. And I'm like, oh my God, that's happening again. It's literally happening again. But hopefully, obviously they won, but hopefully they can give the Panthers a run because they are probably emotionally and physically spent from the last 2 weeks or whatever it is. But Canes lost, so that's all that matters.
That they did. They're down 0-1 to the Rangers. The Fighting Phils are red hot, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
And did they catch the Braves? Braves had an awful West Coast swing.
The Phillies took the lead in the NL East for the first time since the middle of April 2022.
There you go.
So I think that's
2.5 game lead over.
It's absurd to think that the Phillies have been to the World Series and in NLCS since then, and they haven't led the NL East in 2 years. That shows like how good the Braves are, as much as it hurts to say. But yeah, I think the Phillies are in a very good spot. They just never play well at the beginning of the year, so I'm hoping that it's not let's do it now and not later kind of thing. But
the process is dead, right?
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about that. It hurts.
Okay.
I think the Sox got Braves in Atlanta this week. I'm pretty sure. I think I looked this morning and Cutter's throwing tomorrow. Cutter Crawford.
Yep, at the Braves.
I don't know who's throwing for the Braves, but I know Cutter Crawford is unreal this year, and he's throwing tomorrow, so that'll be fun to watch.
All right, there you go. Sox Braves coming up this week. Guys, have a good week. So we got Duke on Tuesday, and then it's on the road at Tulane this weekend as we wind down the regular season. Danny, Ryan, enjoyed it, fellas.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, Clip.
We'll do it again soon. All right, we'll talk to y'all at 3 o'clock on Pirate Radio Live. Brian Bailey Show coming up today at noon. Jeff Palumbo will join BB. In fact, he just walked in the door. So we'll end this stream and start a new one for the Brian